Hey guys, it's Steph from StevenSteph Resale Killers and StevenSteph channel, and I'm going to show you today how I made some candles, all dumpster dive stuff. So if you're out dumpster diving, you see candles in the dumpster that are broken, like this, ugly, whatever, you can save these and you can do something with them. I did a candle video before, and you guys taught me some great new techniques and had great ideas, loved it. And I took some of them into account, made some changes. I think they're better this time. But if you are out dumpster diving and you see little things like this, anything you find, you run across that you could maybe potentially use as a candle vessel, grab it, save it from the landfill. Like all of these things that I've got that I'm going to be showing were from dumpsters. I'm going to show you two different ways that I did it. One of them is from a wick that I purchased because I wanted to use a wood wick, experiment with that. And one of them I used their wick that was actually in the original candle. I just reused it. So I'm going to show you the two different ways that I did it on candles. This is from Liquidation. We buy pallets of stuff, and this was one that had a broken lid or no lid maybe. I can't remember. It's just one of those scragglers that's just been sitting around, and it's just a hot pot. So I'm boiling water in there. And I'm melting down in a mason jar because this is just perfectly fine to be extreme heat. I'm cooking basically pieces of chunks off of my candles that I've been cutting up. So these are some of my candles I got done here. These little pumpkins are adorable. Found these in Michael's dumpster. They had little plants and little succulents that were totally dead, so they just tossed them. And they got some little scratches and stuff in them, but they're so cute. I couldn't let them just get thrown away. A couple of them have chips, so that's what I'm using, are the ones that have chips. But, so I've taken old candles, and let me show you what some of the candles look like. It'd be like this, where it's perfectly fine, this candle, but it's broken. So you just take the glass off. If you stick it in the freezer, you guys told me this, it will release it faster, and you can just pop them out if you stick them in the freezer. So pop the glass off. Then instead of melting the whole thing down, you take chunks, big chunks, and cut them off. Cut them into chunks, and then you pour the wax into them. So that's what I've been doing with all these guys, is basically making chunks because they lose some of the smell when they start to cook. So you want to keep as many big chunks as you can in there. At least that's what I've learned. These pots are from Michael's also. These candles I think are from Michael's, now that I think about it. Or wherever. We got a bunch of them. I had enough of this green one to make 2 of these, but I didn't have enough to make a third, so I just threw this in a mason jar, made myself a little candle, and made this awesome little candle. He's got some green on him because he's splashed. But Carol Bargain Shopping sent this to me. And before, when I was making candles, I've just been using the wicks that I've been taking from them. But they have these candles called wood wick candles at like TJ Maxx and Marshall's. And let me get this going. And I love them because they crackle like a flame. So I ordered some wicks off of eBay. And they're just wood wicks, super cheap, but they were just a couple bucks, and they came from China or somewhere, but they're just a thin little wick. And I made these candles using the wicks from the candles that came with them, but I really wanted to try this candle out. So when I made my little skeleton candle, I used one of these little ones because I didn't have an extra wick that was tiny, and it crackles. It crackles just like the wood wick candles. I love it. It's not getting to the crackle noise yet, but when it does, I'll let you guys hear it. It's so cool. So on some of these, I'm using wood wicks. So on these, I hollowed out the candle just to be about the shape of the hole, and then I stuffed the sides with chopped up pieces and smashed them in there, and then stuck this back in the center after I cut it to size, to where it just, most of the candle is going to be a fresh candle that's never been melted, and it has a nice wick on the top. So that's what it is going on with those. But since I wanted to use these wood wick ones on my candles, then I keep them for me because these have chips. So I'm not giving these ones away. I'm just going to keep them. I put the little wood wick candle in there, glued it down, And I'm putting huge chunks in there and cutting these up, throwing the chunks in, and then I'm going to pour melted wax in there just to finish off the candle. So, like for example, pouring some in there, throw that back in there so I can get a bath. And on the other ones, I smashed them all to the sides. This one I'm just going to fill up and drop it a couple times and let the candle, you know, the wax settle in there, and it should be totally fine. It's just a candle for me, so I really don't care. But for you guys, I wanted you guys to have a nice candle on the inside. But look, you can't tell between this one with the wood wick and this one without. Looks perfectly fine. You can't tell that this one is a chopped up, completely chopped up piece in the inside. It might look a little different if it's a clear candle, but that's what I did on this one, and I can't see it at all. This was just a chopped up one, completely chopped up. Look, I didn't even bother, since this is my own candle, I didn't even bother putting the little metal thing on the bottom on this one. I just left it because I don't care. I'm just going to reuse this over and over and put other candles in it, so as they melt. So on this big one here, I have enough of this delicious sugar cookie candle. It smells so good that I used up all my pumpkins. They're all going to be filled up with this sugar cookie, and whatever's left over, I'm going to use one of these. These were just planter pieces, containers they're calling them. This was at Michael's also, and I put a taller wood wick. I got some short ones and some tall ones, put a taller one in there, and that's what I'm going to do right now. First of all, I papered my whole counter this time because I made a disaster. Look at all this wax. I had wax that spilled. I had wax everywhere. So I put paper down, also from a dumpster, butcher paper. Put plastic down first, actually. It's also from a dumpster. It's a big roll of plastic. This whiteboard here is just to keep some of the splatter off. These are posters from like GameStop. So I'm protecting my counters with that. I'm using this from a dumpster. This has orange from my pumpkin candles here when I was stirring it. And I'm just using things that I found around. These gloves even came from a dumpster. I've got 2 lefts, so I just put it in the wrong hand and use it. I don't care. It's fine with me. So all of this is recycled. This normally would have been trash. This is not something, I mean, I could have taken it to a swap meet and maybe sold it for a couple bucks, but I might as well just keep it for my candle making. I'm impatient. I don't want to wait for every single little dot to finish. Let's make this one pretty. Smash that down. There we go. Pretty. Now for the big boy. Let's see how far I can go with this. Is it gonna make it? Oh, it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the other way that I made the candle. Okay, onto the green. Height of the candle, need to cut off about the orange one's cut way better than this one. My house smells amazing, by the way. There we go. Okay, so now you see more of the parchment. Going in the boiler. Melt away, little guy. It's probably okay to height-wise. Let's see. I think it's not going to fit still. Too wide. Gotta keep going. Alright, that's about where it's gonna go, but I have all that room on the outside to wedge candle shavings in, so that's what I'm gonna do. First thing I need to do though is address this. When I pulled the candle bottom off, my wick stand peeled off too, so I need to put a new one in. I'm going to steal one of these. Okay, I pulled the wick back through. The candle's soft enough, like that pink or the orange one was really soft. I did it really easy on that one. This one's harder. It's a crunchier candle. Alright, I'm pouring a little in there just to get the sides wet. This one's too crunchy, so it's too hard to do. So if the sides get a little bit of candle, it's going to be easier for me to put some chunks in, get them to stay. This one's filled. This little guy, he's cooling down. He's got that little wood wick candle wick. This one I have to finish puddling, but I needed more stuff. So let's finish this guy off. Nice. That should be pretty. Thanks for joining me on my candle making adventure. Round 2. I'm sure I'll get better at it, but save those candles, ladies and gents, and do something with them. Really fun. Enjoy your life.